Buru, Iboya, Ibuche, everybody in Cyberland. It's your favorite Babalao. At least I hope so. Omodu, Odileke, coming at you with a video in order to address another common theme I've been seeing going on, and I think it's very important for us to address. I would tell you that this is a very touchy topic, but I think it's one that needs to be known and one that needs to be spoken about in order to avoid people from being abused or assaulted by using the faith. All right. So with that said, give me a like, give me a share, give me a subscribe. Right? If you don't like the video, you can unsubscribe later, you can unlike, you can do all that good stuff. But I promise you, this is informative. All right, first things first. The first question that I always get is, do the Orishas punish? And I would have to explain that in two folds because I want you to understand the logical concept of that question. And then I want you to understand the nature of why you received Orishas. So when we talk about the Orishas punishing, one, we need to understand why were the Orishas created? Why did God, Olodumare, create Orishas? And why, from those Orishas, why did some come to this earth and become part of the naturalization of everything that makes this world go round? And if God did that and created humans to inhabit this earth, then do we not work hand in hand? So then I ask you again, do the Orishas punish? My answer from my philosophical standpoint, from my understandings and years in the faith, no, they do not punish. They do not punish, okay? So that brings me to my next point. If someone tells you, if you don't do X, Y, and Z, you're gonna die, the Orishas are gonna punish you, all that stuff, man, disregard it all. Disregard it all. Okay? A lot of times there's scare tactics, okay? And those scare tactics do not work in this faith. That is not what they're designed for. If you hear someone tell you, if you do this, the Orishas will punish you, no, okay? You might as well just go back into the sinner mode, right? And you get into this Abrahamic philosophy of, if you don't follow X, Y, and Z, then you're damned forever. And that's not the Orisha worship. That's not the way of business, okay? Now, people ask me, but then what's brujeria? Okay, brujeria is someone exhausting their ache, their energy, in order to do good or do bad. And either one, right, it exists, right? But it takes a certain level of commitment, a certain level of energy, a certain level of money and animals, and to do something bad to you. So then it goes back to my next point. If you don't do X, Y, and Z, the Orishas are going to punish you, or this, that, and the other. No. Get away from the scare tactics. Listen to your heart, your head, and call it good. Okay, so do the Orishas punish? No. Now, I want you to pay close attention to what I'm going to say next. If you receive your warriors in your mano de orula, and based on that concept alone, you wanted spiritual development. You wanted to increase your spiritual enlightenment, right? You wanted to be woke. Call it what it is. You want to wake up your third eye, and you're willing to sacrifice, and you went through your ceremonies and initiations. The Orishas, through your Ori, your Obatori, right, and your spirit guide, and Ishu, right, there's like an army of people that are going to do right by you. Now, are they going to remove obstacles out of your life? Are they going to manifest some things in order to put you back on the right path if you kind of veer off? Yes. Is that punishment? No. Now, are they going to revector you? Yes. Now, they could be aggressive at times, right? And Elewa especially is one. Ishu is another one, all right? Your warriors complement your life, which is the reason why we give it to you first. And then we give you Mano de Orula in order to have the reinforcements necessary for you to fully grasp your destiny and in order to grow spiritually. So, do the Orishas punish? No. Do the Orishas want what's right for you? Yes. Do the Orishas want you to be on your destined path? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So please, do not let anybody tell you anything different. All right. The next topic is, okay, now that I've realized that maybe I know someone that's toxic. Maybe I know a santero or a santera, which is an Orisha, or a babalao, right? And maybe they do these scare tactics, right? Or maybe it's not even the fact that it's a scare tactic, but they're no longer good for your spiritual development, right? But you get nervous and you're like, wow, I don't want to offend nobody. I don't want them to throw brujeria and witchcraft at me. I don't want to do that. I don't want to upset the Orishas. I don't want to, remember what I said, the Orisha's not going to punish you. They want what's best for you. So if you're not getting what you need from that spiritual ile for whatever reason, both negative or maybe it's just not working out, you have the right to go on to another ile. Find somewhere else that you feel more comfortable with. Find somewhere where you can develop and flourish. Find someone that can guide you, because that is important. That is the key. That is the goal for you to grow and be self-sufficient in this faith and to go as far as you want. You're looking for a spiritual leader that can guide you, not control you. That is the goal. So in those situations, in the Afro-Cubano Criollo faith, we typically take that spiritual leader, a white plate, a brand new white plate, 2 coconuts, 2 candles, and you say, hey, thank you very much. And you're placing that basically in that person's Obatori, and their whoever they're crowned. So if somebody's crowned Obatala, they put it Obatala. If it's a Babalao, you put it to their Ifa. And you say thank you, but now we're gonna part our ways because we are no longer effective together, and I'm not growing, right? And I tell people, you know what? Sometimes it's good to give people a chance, because a lot of times elders don't know the error of their ways. Sometimes they're not good teachers. Maybe they need that reality check of, hey, I need you to teach me. I need to understand my ita. I need to understand who's my guardian and how my ita mix. I need to understand the dilegung. I need to know how to do things. And that is important. Sometimes elders need to hear it because they get so wrapped up with day to day. If it doesn't work out, then boom, you can do the play. Now, there's a workaround, because I know tons of passive aggressive people that don't want the conflict. They'd rather just not show up anymore ever again, right? Don't, hey, block the godfather, block the godmother, whatever. Never go back to the botanica or whatever the situation may be. When you find that spiritual house, then you give that plate, the coconut, and the 2 candles to that spiritual person's whatever. So if your godfather or godmother, right, or that spiritual leader was, let's say, a son of Obatala, and you want to just, you want to distance yourself, take the passive aggressive route, then when you find that new spiritual house, you go to that person's Obatala, and you give that plate, that coconut, and those candles to that Obatala, in the name of that spiritual house you just left. because that is who you are at the end of the day, trying to break that pack with. It's to say, hey, thank you very much for everything. I appreciate you. It's with the Orisha. We are mankind, flesh, blood. If I cut myself right now, I bleed. I am not a divinity. I am not to be worshipped. I'm not to be, and that goes for everybody. So please, please, please try to understand it as much as possible. So I wanted to make this video specifically to talk to you on do the Orishas punish, and when you find yourself in a toxic environment, or maybe you consulted with somebody and someone is trying to kind of pressure you through threats or through punishment or whatever the case may be, right? Or you need to remove yourself from a spiritual house that you no longer find yourself affected in, then boom, you have some general guidelines. So with that said, Iburu, Iboya, Ibucheche, everybody. It's a little windy out here. I have these things on. The mic works better and you can hear me better. So I wanted to make sure I told you that. And I hope you all have a blessed day. Ache, to you all, Iburu, Boya, Bucheche. Like, subscribe, share. Important stuff. All right, guys. Iburu, Iboya, Bucheche.